You are?
Yep.
Hey guys, welcome back. So I am joined by someone that I probably in our life, like perhaps our paths would never cross. So this is fun for me. This is exciting for me. I love meeting people that, you know, if you stay in your lane, I talk about that all the time. If you stay right in your lane and you don't look left, you don't do the right, sometimes you never interact with people that will inspire you, challenge you, scare you, change you in any way. So this is Regina Marscheider.
Yep.
Did I nail it?
You nailed it, girl.
Well, that's all I needed to do. We'll be back after this.
All right.
Thanks for your time. Is it safe to say if I said, what do you do for a living, would you say you're a puppeteer?
I'm a puppeteer.
You're a puppeteer.
Yeah.
Is that the word
Yes,
you use?
yes, I'm a puppeteer.
So what does that mean? I mean, I watched the Muppets growing up. My kids are obsessed with Elmo. Are those puppets?
Yeah, those are
Or
puppets.
those Muppets?
No, well, they're puppets, but I pretty much do more marionettes rather than hand puppets, which I really like better because you're dealing with the entire body of the puppet.
Okay, hold on one second. You guys can come on up and hang out. Your friends are here.
Oh.
Do you guys know Lance?
Yes.
The best. Okay, I'm sorry. I totally interrupted because it's 108 degrees here in New York, and if anyone stayed out in the sun for longer than 13 seconds, I would have to clean up that mess.
Right.
And frankly,
Meltdown.
who am I to be cleaning
Right.
up other people's mess? It's not today. But one guy, a Q1, wore a long sleeve shirt, and I know he's trying to
Uh-oh.
think about taking that
Hi,
off.
guys.
Okay, talk to me.
All right, so I'm a puppeteer.
You're a puppeteer. Who says that? Is that what your business card says?
Well, sort of. My business cards actually say Stop Abuse, powered by Spectrum Puppets.
Slightly more serious
Yeah,
than my
a little
joke
more
with the
serious, but
puppets.
I have probably over 350 handmade marionettes in my studio.
Marionette is a puppet.
Is a puppet with strings, right? And
It's not just a fancier name to say puppet.
No, it's actually a puppet on strings. So we do shows, all different kinds of shows. I have a show, Let's Get Buggy, String Fever, all different kinds of shows. And we do festivals and all everything from birthday parties to roasting people with my life-size puppets, which are not marionettes.
Yeah.
And but my best, and I think the most wonderful thing that I'm known for is my child abuse prevention program.
Tell me about it.
So we have a musical marionette show called Simon Says Just Tell, and Simon is a little green character. Do you have Simon?
I do.
Yeah, okay. Simon is the main character of the show, and the whole show is about teaching young children how to recognize, prevent, and disclose sexual abuse.
Wow.
So it's an amazing, amazing program. Lots of songs. Oh, here's Simon. Okay, here we go. Here's
Wow.
Simon. So this is a doll of the marionette, and Simon kind of represents the children's instinct, their innermost feelings, and he's their voice.
How old are the children?
We do grades 1 through 5.
That's not too young for them to understand
No,
how
the
heavy the topic is?
the younger children know how to protect themselves, the safer they're going to be. So, and it's a very gentle show. It's non-threatening. It basically takes the audience through a day in the life of two children, Lori and Doug. And mom has been divorced. She's getting married. She's going to get remarried, and her boyfriend is coming over to propose to her. And everyone's excited except for Lori, because obviously Martin is messing with her. So throughout the show, Simon comes in, he tells Lori she needs to tell somebody, and who do I tell? And he gives her options. And then finally he says, why don't you write a letter to your mom? So she does. And probably the most beautiful song in the show is Dear Mother, Please Don't Marry Martin. It's very touching.
Wow, that actually just gave me the chills.
And if you're in the audience, you can almost pick out those children that are identifying with Lori and who are having issues. And the main song in the show is My Body, and he sings together with the children, this is my body, that's your body, leave my body alone. And you'll have hundreds of children in the school or the audience singing along with him. And so they love the songs, they get the message. At the end of the show, mom reads the note, and when Martin comes to visit, she shows him the letter and says, Martin, I never want to see you again, and the next time you hear a knock on your door, it'll be the police.
Wow.
And the kids are very engaged in the show because they want to see what happens.
Right.
And then at the end, when mom says that about the police, they're like, yeah, they're rooting for them. So it's beautiful. And every show that we do, whether it's in an elementary school or a youth center, we always have someone from Child Protective Services, from the police department. So any child that does come forward is immediately evaluated and referred, and then usually an investigation takes place.
Why is this topic so important to you?
Well, I mean, I've been doing this for 30 years, and I thought it was because I was doing the right thing, but it took me over 50 years to talk about what happened to me. So I was a victim myself, and never was able to talk about it. At my age and at that time, you shoved everything under the rug. I told my mom, and she said, okay, now get over it, and let's move on, and we'll never talk about it again, and we never did. So it wasn't until over 50 years later, that I did talk about it. And then actually Fox News came down to my studio and did a story on me for the Beyond the Dream segment that Kelly Wright does. And so he got me to say on national television that I was a victim. So I guess I came out at that point. So before I thought it would be impossible for me to say anything about it, but now I have freedom. And that's a big thing. That's a big deal.
How long have you been sort of doing, not just public, but doing the show and spreading the message now?
It's Simon turns 30 this year.
30 years old.
And we're having a big birthday party
Wow.
for him on October 22nd at a huge festival we're doing at Virginia Wesleyan College in Virginia Beach.
Nice.
So yeah, not a gray hair on his head,
But a couple purple ones.
a couple of purple ones.
Yeah,
and
I'd like to say that when I'm 50.
and lots of souls saved in his
Yeah.
heart. So we've performed probably for over 1 million kids.
And it's the same show.
It's I've updated it as the
Okay.
years went by to make it more current, and like the last
Like you're not faxing people now. You could like to.
exactly. And also we have a little segment about the internet. The babysitter, instead of answering the door, the kids answered the door. Mom was upset. So where's the babysitter? Where's she's Ellen. She's supposed to answer the door. Oh, she's on the chat room on the computer.
Oh.
So we got a little bit of that stuff in. Of course, the music had to be more contemporary.
Right.
So, but this is it.
Yeah.
So we've been doing the show for years and years. I would say tens of thousands of children have avoided being sexually abused, and just in our little area, we've helped put 160 child molesters in prison.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so it works.
Good for you. Where do
It
you do
works.
it? Where's the show? How do people find out about it?
They can go to stopabuse.com, and we've had the show in New York. We've been all over the United States. We've been up in British Columbia, in Canada. So we've been all over the place.
And where are you now?
My headquarters is in Virginia Beach.
Oh,
I'm
it is
a New Yorker, but
Okay.
I live in Virginia Beach. Yeah.
And are you doing other things with puppets right now? Or are you,
Yeah,
or
I
are you
mean,
now you're focused on this?
No, I do other shows as well. So we have a whole bunch of shows lined up this summer. We're doing 4 different campuses for Tidewater Community College for their children's centers. We're doing parks and recreation shows there.
Yeah.
And then every once in a while I do a show with my life-size puppets.
What does that mean? I feel like you're holding a human up. And you're like,
It's exactly what it is.
Huh.
I'm holding a
like a
human up.
Backstreet Boy. You're like, what's up? Here's my...
Yeah, I just put my arm up their back and...
Oh, that's what a life-size
yeah.
puppet is?
It's a hand puppet, yeah. So I actually put
Huh.
their shoes on.
I literally
and-
thought you
Yeah.
were holding
Yeah,
it
it's
like
really crazy. So Audrey is my main puppet. She's kind of like my alter ego, and
Yeah.
she does stand-up comedy. And
So you
I'll
do
roast.
stand-up comedy.
Yeah, I'll roast people. Well, not me. It's the puppet.
course.
I wear all black,
Duh.
and I wear a black hood over my head. And just recently, I did some guy's 50th birthday. His wife hired me, so I had to find out all about him.
Yeah.
He was fishes and all the things. So I customized the routine
Sure.
to include all of that. And then I'd go home and I'd say to my husband, "Oh my God, honey, Audrey was so funny. She did this and she did that." And he's like, "Now you do know that you're Audrey."
Right.
So
So who's the puppet?
she looks like a human being, but a caricature.
Yeah.
So I
Why am I so fascinated? Like, it's like I'm puppet stupid or something.
And I put my arm inside her left arm, and my right hand goes up inside her head. She blinks her eyes, she moves her mouth,
Right.
and she talks. I mean, it's like a human.
But that's not ventriloquism, is it?
No, because I wear a black hood over my head, so they
Well,
can't.
I'm like incapable. Like I'm gonna go to sleep and I'm like, she's incapable of
Okay,
understanding puppets.
I look like her shadow.
Gotcha.
All right, and as soon as she starts moving and talking, nobody even knows I'm there. And funny story, I was in New York on Staten Island, and I was actually there to do a child abuse prevention program. But in the hotel, they had a bar, so we decided let's go.
Why not?
And I always take one of my life-size puppets. So I took.
Why not?
I took Dottie.
I
She-
also travel in the life.
I
Yeah.
love my life-size puppet of Matthew McConaughey. Go on.
Yeah. So I put on my life-size puppet, went in, and there was like all bikers. They're dancing with her, they're carrying on, she's doing fun stuff. And then I go upstairs, I take her off, clean myself up and come back down, and I'm sitting at the bar, and the bartender said, "Oh my God, you just missed it." I'm like, "What did I miss?" "Oh, there was this crazy puppet in here." I'm like, "Really? What did she do?" And it was a hoot because I was
really
listening to
funny.
him talk about what I had just
Yeah.
done.
Listen,
So it's a lot of fun.
you turn Dottie into Elmo, and my kids will kill for you.
Well, I have puppets that your kids would love, so
Oh,
you
I'm
have
sure.
to bring them to my studio.
My
someday.
kid loves like a plastic spoon. She'll be like, "Woohoo! Summer made!" I'm like,
That's fun.
keep that bar low, Harper. Keep the bar real low.
But I have to do a lot of the fun stuff just to
Yeah.
counteract the heavy stuff that I do. So it's always good.
It's
always
the
good.
biggest message. It's the most important message, and it's a
It
message
is.
that's it's I would imagine nearly impossible to talk to children about, talk to parents about, talk to society about, if not for delivered in a package such as this.
Yeah, and you have to make it easy, and you have to make it believable, and you have to make the kids feel comfortable. And they love Simon, and my dream is that every child in the country gets to see the show, and that every child gets a Simon doll, because he'll keep them safe, and it's important.
I love it. You
In terms of the size of the problem, you might want to talk about
Yeah.
It's
because it's hard for us to
It's
understand if
massive.
not for like an
It-
Law and Order SVU episode. I don't know.
It's massive. 1 in 4 little girls, 1 in 5 little boys will be sexually abused before the age of 18. And only 10% of the children actually report their abuse. So it's even more than that. It's massive, and nobody wants to talk about it. And to me, I think it's the worst thing, that it's the most heinous crime against humanity, because when you are sexually abused, it kills your soul. It kills something with you, and it's a life sentence. You have to live with that for the rest of your life. So to get over that and get past that is not easy.
But you're at least bringing attention to it, which is so important, and you're doing it in a way that is bringing together a number of different demographics, the most important being children.
Right.
Because what other outlet would they have if not for an
Right.
opportunity like this to be able
Right.
to talk to someone? I can't thank you enough for doing the work that you're doing, and I know for you it came from a very personal place and a very
Right.
dark place, but maybe in some small way it's finding closure, it's healing for you to be able
Absolutely.
to help other people to not have to go through what you went through.
Absolutely, and I think this is what my mission is on Earth, is to save children from abuse.
Gina, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I love what you're doing. It's so great and so important.
Thank
I'd
you.
love to watch you do some of the puppeteering that I'm not quite fully.
We're going to do that one of these
We should
days,
do that.
Okay?
Yeah, but you could just stick your hand up behind my head, because trust me, like, who knows what's coming out of my mouth half the time. Your voice with my biceps, we could take this show on the road, Regina.
I know,
right?
I know, and I need to get your book, because I need to lose 30 pounds like Lance did.
Well, I need to learn how to roast, because I got to roast my 17-month-old, because sometimes she's a real wicked little pain. But
We can help each other.
I love it. Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
so
coming on. I
much.
really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And tell me again where we can find out where your next show is.
Well, stopabuse.com. If
Is
you
where
go
to
on
go.
stopabuse.com, you'll find out all about us.
Awesome. This is Regina, guys. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Thank you.